2, Unit 8, Chapter 18, Around the World. Around the World in 80 Days. This is taken from the story Around the World in 80 Days. So let's see the story. It is about a bet between Mr. Phileas Fogg and his friends to go around the world in 80 days. Okay, so and who was his friend? Passepartout, a Frenchman, was his friend. So let's read the story. That evening, they were on the train from San Francisco to New York, which was 3,786 miles away. In 7 days, the train would take them from Pacific to the Atlantic Ocean. The train steamed through California at full speed. It crossed steep mountain slopes, deep canyons, and high hair-raising curves, moving from one place to another. Okay, so through few tunnels and bridges. Suddenly, the train slowed down as a herd of buffaloes charged across the railway track. So, as the train was moving, a herd of buffaloes charged across the railway track. The train was forced to stop till the procession passed like a great brown river. The herd took a full 3 hours to cross the track. Night had fallen down. Okay, and what happened next? Let's see. Since the procession of herds were moving, okay, and the train could move again. The train headed for the steep mountains. This was the most difficult part of the journey with its winding roads. That means the roads were very difficult to cross. They passed through highest point of their journey, and what was the highest point? They went up to 7,524 feet above the sea level. In a few hours, they would be out of the Rocky Mountains. After the passengers had taken their breakfast, the train gave a shrill whistle and braked with a jerk and came to a halt. Halt means it stopped. Passepartout, a French passenger, went to see what matter was. There was nothing to be seen. The train had halted in the middle of nowhere. There was no station in sight. So nothing was there and there were no station. So what happened? He heard the signalman say the train can't go on. The bridge near Medicine Bow won't support the weight. So what happened? The bridge. He said that like stop there. The bridge won't support it. So what exactly happened and why did it happen? Let's see this. Okay. The driver said perhaps there is a chance of getting across the bridge by letting the train proceed at a maximum speed. So if they could proceed with the maximum speed, that means at the full speed, the chances can be that the train can pass through. All the board said, conductor. The passenger got on the train and the driver reversed the train for nearly a mile. That means to head towards in front, they had to move with maximum speed. So the conductor, what he did, he turned back. He reversed the train back and he gave another whistle. The train began to move forward so fast that it was frightening. It was moving in a maximum speed. That's why it was frightening. The passenger had the feeling that the train was not resting on the tracks but was floating through air. As the engines shook and the train shuddered, they were over the bridge in a flash. That means uh, they went in a maximum speed and they just crossed the bridge. As soon as they passed over the Medicine River, the bridge crashed down into the raging water below. So the water below was in a full current. Okay, the train continued its course that evening without interruption. So it didn't stop after that. It was just moving. So what happened next? Let's see. As the train moved forward the next day, it was suddenly attacked by hundred of Sioux Indian, a tribe of native Red Indian. Okay, I hope you all know what is Sioux Indian. These are native Red Indian people from America. They are from the jungles, those who stay in jungle. Okay, many of them appeared from all sides, jumped onto the moving train, and pulled themselves up the step. They were armed with rifles. Some of the travelers had revolver also. Okay, so maybe they wanted to stop the train and take away all the belonging of the passenger. They defended themselves bravely by answering with pistol shots. So what happened? The conductor cried out, "The train must be stopped or we are lost." "I will go," said Passepartout. He opened a door and unseen by the Red Indian, he slipped under the racing train and holding on to the chain, he slowly reached the engine. Then he separated the engine from the coaches. They started to slow down. Okay, they had neared a station where soldiers, attracted by the sound of the shots, hurried towards the train. The Red Indian on the board saw them and quickly jumped off before the train stopped entirely. So they had to stop there. So this is the story about as I said, this was a story adapted from Around the World in 80 Days. So this is what happened. At last, Red Indian stopped the train, okay? And they had to stop it. So it was written by Julius Verne. I hope you understood how the train moved from one place to another, and as they had a bet of traveling from San Francisco to New York in 80 days. So, what are the difficulties they faced? It is all about that. Okay. Thank you. Have a great day ahead. We'll